Okay, Samsung Q700T. This is the 55-inch version, so entry-level 8K TV. But this video isn't about that. All the unboxing setups on a separate video. This is just the wall mount. So I've got a standard Harmer flat bracket there. I'll put a link in the description. You can have a look, or any sort of reputable standard fixed mount will do the same job. So just open it up there. Got some instructions, but I shall go through it anyway. So there should be two arms in here that attach to the TV. So that is one and the other. Gently put those there. Okay. You do get a kind of universal bolt pack in there, and you always get these 50mm bolts now for Samsung TVs from previous years, even though they don't seem to be using 50mm much anymore, which must be a headache for bracket manufacturers to try and make these universal. I think it's those which are either 20mm or the one above, which is 30. So we'll cut those open and find out which one fits. I'll just move those out of the way. This is the plate that will be attached to the wall itself. So in width, I'll just get a dimension of that plate. So it's roughly 640mm, so 64 centimetres or 25.5 inches approximately. So whatever size your TV is, this one's got a 200mm square VESA mount, so they will hook onto there like so, and then you've got all that room. You can slide them side to side if you need to for any reason, and they just hook off. So basically those arms are going to be on the TV, this will be on the wall, and we're just simply going to hook it on, and that is that. Two screws underneath just to tighten up and secure. Okay, so that is now looking at the back of my television. So I can just pop those arms on like so. Didn't see any spacers came with this one, so the arms can go directly onto the TV in that case. I'm going to go maybe up there, so I'll keep my bars going to attach here, so the centre of gravity is that bit higher. 4 M8 bolts there, 20mm long. I've actually got 2 washers on each of those just to make them the right distance. So you may actually get away with 15mm M8 bolts, but you get what you get in the pack. And also I like to get a good bit of thread into the hole just to make me feel better. So just gently wind those in a touch. So we've got that slack there that rocks, so we want to push the arm up towards the top of the TV so I can nip it up there. Same for the bottom. Just give that a wiggle, make sure it's nice and solid. So same again for the other side. Was that? And again, that slack there, I want to push it up and just nip it up with the slack pushing towards the top of the TV. That way gravity can't pull it any further down than it already is. And both those arms are in the same position, because if we had one pulled down with the slack, one up, the TV would be slightly tilted and so on. But bracket on, so this is the part that will be on the wall, and you can see there you've got bags of room, you can slide it either way as well. So next step is measure it so I know where I want the bottom and top of my TV to be. So my reference will be the bottom of the TV to bottom of that bracket, which is either 13.25 inches or just over 33.5 centimetres. Marked where I want the bottom of my TV, which won't show up from there a bit on camera, but it's there, to the bottom of where I want my bracket, and also the centre, which is here. Okay, so all I've got to do, put my bracket up there like so. Make sure I'm in the centre of my bracket where I want it to be. Spirit level on the top, so usually I would have a bigger spirit level because you're going to get more of an accurate reading, because no guarantees this bar here is perfectly straight, but get it level as possible anyway. Mark out my 4 holes. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I've got a vinyl covered sort of MDF wall here, so all I shall do, I'm just going to pierce, so really Pre-drill's a good idea as well. A nice thin pre-drill, especially into real wood so it doesn't split, but this should be sufficient for this one. Okay, you can see I'll do the holes from previous brackets in televisions. Got my screw gun. So all I've got, just basic wood screws with small washers on. So I can start with that top right there. I can start there, just gently wind it in. So I've just nipped that there while I get the other screws in, which I won't nip up totally until I've put my level on. Okay, split level back on. So I can just move my bracket still because I've not nipped all those screws up till I know I'm level. It's about there somewhere, and just nip up another screw, check the spirit level again, which is all good. So I'll nip the other two screws up. And that is nice and solid. Brilliant. Okay, so see I've got my cables in here ready for my television. With this bracket it's going to hook on there and then tilt it off, get the cables into the side. So I've got mains, wired internet, HDMI from a Sky Q box, aerial in, optical, which I'm probably going to put a sound bar here later. Okay, so I do advise 2 men for this if you've got a friend, and it will just hook onto that rail, and I think that's on. So I've still got my arm underneath here, and I can just gently slide it side to side, poke my head around the side, quick visual check to see that I am on those rails, and same for this side. Yep, happy with that. So obviously last thing, I could wind those screws up. I'll struggle on this one because obviously I've got a shelf underneath, but it can be done. So next thing, obviously I've got to plug the cables in now, which is always a bit of a headache, but if you get used to doing it, you can pretty much do it without looking and just by feeling where the sockets are. So first thing I'm going for is the mains. I'll attempt to do this bit without editing it out so you can see how long it actually takes me in real time. Unless I edit the bit out where I just promised that. Okay, so I can feel the figure 8 mains input there. And I've got the cable in my hand. The figure 8 mains in. So next onto this side. Aerial cable there. So feel for my aerial socket, which I know is at the bottom because I did actually look first. If you've got 2 of you doing this, you can lift it up and one of you holding one side of the TV can plug them in. That'll make life a lot easier. Aerial's a tricky one. Okay, that is the aerial in. Whew. Wired internet next. So again, I can't see down the side at the moment, so I'm just going to feel for it. That's the one. Should make a nice click when the internet cable goes in. There we go, that's the internet in. HDMI, want to ideally be HDMI 1, which I did make a mental note is the HDMI that's at the lowest point, so I think that was above the internet. I can actually just see down that. HDMI 1 is in. Last but not least, fibre optic or audio digital optical. I think that was somewhere near the top, and if you're feeling for it, you can actually feel the little, there's a little sort of cover flap on the optical socket, so that's what I'm feeling for now. I can actually just see it as well at the side, so it's underneath the two USB sockets. It is directional, so it makes it even trickier to get in. And that is in. Well, so all my cables are now in and connected, so screen peely. The rest of the setup will be on the full unboxing video. Well, that is a wall mounted TV. Should actually put my spirit level back on to check its level. Brill, bang on. Take these things off. I'll just do a bit of packaging to protect the screen. And peely on the screen protector, so nice immaculate screen underneath. Final thing before I do forget, which I nearly did, that is a side view of the TV. So that bracket itself probably comes off there, maybe 20mm, and the TV itself maybe, well, more at the top because it's tilting. You can level it if you do wish to. But then the TV itself is an additional 40mm.